Time now for your forewarned weather with Cedric Haynes.
All right, let's talk about your weather headlines here as we progress throughout the rest of this week. Slightly cooler temperatures in the forecast as we go throughout this afternoon, but I do want to caution, we are talking slightly cooler, but you'll still notice it probably if you're out and about. Otherwise, we do have some of the hottest temperatures of the year still looking likely as we get towards your Thursday and Friday. And that's where we could also see some potential record high temperatures across parts of the Beehive State. So, yeah, you know it's going to be hot, especially as we get towards the second half of June. But it may not last, and that's the good news because we are still tracking the potential of below average temperatures returning as we get towards the latter half of the weekend. All right, let's talk about that fire threat because, yesterday it was in the critical range across most of the Beehive State. We have those red flag warnings in effect, those really strong gusty winds up to 40, 50 miles per hour at times across portions of southern Utah. But notice that threat is really shifting further to the south and east as we go throughout today. So I think the main threat for that will be between, let's say, Arizona and New Mexico today, where you have those west and southwesterly winds blowing pretty consistently. For us, the winds are out of the north and west. That does help us out a little bit. But with that being said, the far southeastern corner of the state, from Hanksville, Moab, over towards Blanding and Lake Powell, still does have an elevated risk. So even though the risk is not as high as yesterday, just know you got to be cautious if you're going to be outside recreating across the far southeast. Otherwise, we are going to be watching the smoke with those winds switching out of the north and west. That's going to bring us a different term in terms of the smoke. Instead of the smoke flowing off towards the north and east, it will flow off to the south and east. But that could be an issue for portions of Kane and Garfield counties as you get down towards the far southern portions of the state. But really, a lot of that smoke is going to be confined to northern Arizona today, thanks to that wind shift. So that's some good news. All right, look at these temperatures out there. We've got 50s up towards Cache Valley, mid-60s along the Wasatch Front. We've got 50s, 60s, and yes, still some upper 70s down across the far south. As we walk through your forecast this morning, we're looking at those temperatures going from the 60s to the low 80s by lunchtime. Could have a few extra clouds earlier in the day, more sunshine later in the day. St. George, low 70s will turn into the mid-90s here as we get towards lunchtime with lots of sunshine, low humidity. Overall, should be some fairly nice conditions here as we go throughout the day. This afternoon, again, a few degrees knocked off of those highs, so only in the mid-80s up towards Cache Valley, mid to upper 80s along the Wasatch Front. And we'll see those temperatures in the 90s, still a couple of triple digits down towards lower Washington County, but instead of 107, we're talking 102, so slightly cooler air out there. So we'll call it milder for today as that storm system moves by to our north and east. But here comes that ridge of high pressure again by Wednesday, bringing back the hotter temperatures across the area here. And that high pressure will expand as we go into your Thursday and the Friday. So the potential of some record heat will be possible as we get towards, let's say, your Thursday and Friday afternoon across the Wasatch Front. But again, we are seeing some signs of some cooler air that will try to build in as we see that pattern change try to flip up as we go towards this weekend, especially the second half of the weekend. Ahead of that pattern change, though, as I mentioned, Thursday and the Friday, we're going to be within a degree or so of some record highs here across the Wasatch Front here in Salt Lake City. So not only is it going to be toasty, it's going to be potentially record-breaking. So that's something we'll watch. St. George, we're looking at highs around 102 today. Dropping, or warming, I should say, up to about 108 on your Thursday. We'll be at 104 for the first official day of summer, and then highs only in the mid-90s as we go into Sunday and to Monday. The Wasatch Front, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 80s today, so slightly cooler than yesterday. Back to the 90s, though, for your Wednesday, and we're right around record high temperatures both Thursday and Friday before we see a nice cool down as we get towards Sunday into Monday.